So I've been asked to install a light in this toilet thing here because they're going to be putting a ceiling above this. So what I'm thinking, looking at the nearest power source, obviously it's going to have to be a wall light because I want to do it before they put the ceiling in, so I'll probably put a wall light up here. And then just on the opposite side of this is actually a socket on its own circuit. So what I'm thinking to do is come out of the top of that socket in some flexi conduit, run along there, through that hole, through to the other side, flexi conduit along here, maybe onto some solid conduit, run it along into a switch fuse connection unit, and then from that switch fuse connection unit up to the light with some conduit. So what I've actually decided to do is run a bit of white PVC conduit down from this socket down to a switch fuse connection unit here, then from that down along above the skirting there, through this hole here, along there, 90-degree bend up to a switch just here, then up and across 90-degree bend, and then put a light just there. And I've got this Luck Eco Mosky round LED bulkhead, 11 watts. I've never used one of these before, but it's quite good because everything's just built in and you've just got this click connection, and then the base like this with connectors in, you just click that in, and then 3 screws to screw the cover on. So I'm just going to drill a 20mm hole out here, run the conduit directly into it, and fix that on the wall, and job's a good one. I absolutely love these Sortimo cases, so I've got all my bits and pieces in here, so I can just grab my plugs, grab some screws, and they just slide into my van racking. It's a really easy way to keep everything nice and neat and tidy. So I've got this socket cover off, knock out there, female adapter, bit of conduit down, box here for the switch fuse connection unit, down here, 90 there, and then run it along. Laser level comes in really handy in these kind of jobs. So I'm using what's called a female adapter here, which means that it comes with a male bush that you basically screw in like that. There are other options called male adapters where it has a thread which comes through and then you put a lock ring on the other side. Now I really don't know what are the advantages and disadvantages of both. Why would you use a female bush instead of a male bush? Let me know in the comments if you know. Okay, so this is just something that really winds me up, right? The spacing of that hole spaces the conduit further from the wall than the spacing of a saddle. So now, what do? It's too short to bend it on that tiny distance. I could probably just leave it loose without any saddles, but ideally I'd like to stick a couple of saddles on just to be sure that it's nice and solid, but there's no way that I'm going to get a neat little bend there to get it into the saddle, keep it flat, and then bend it back up here. So I'm going to just have to remove the saddles and just do it without any saddles, which is really stupid, bad design. So conduit's all in. So I've got that piece now down there to the switch fuse connection unit, then down and across through here, along the bottom here, angle bend up to the bottom of this. This will be the light switch. From the light switch up and across to the light. So I've just got to get it wired now, and then connected up and we'll be good to go. So I'm just busy stripping the cables in here now. I've just pulled those into the conduit. I just did it by taking these angles off, and I didn't bother using a fishing wire or anything. I just pushed them through the straight bits and then push them around the corners. But using my C-case automatic wire stripper tool, and I wanted to share with you a little tip that Chris from CJR Electrical helped me out with the other day, because I was finding that they were not gripping onto the cable properly, so they weren't stripping the cable as they should. And so Chris said what I should do is just tighten that little knob up on the side of the strippers there. Just tighten that right fully, and then that solves the problem. And it did, it worked. So thanks to Chris from CJR. So this is something I never understood, right? Why do they do the load neutral next to the incoming live on switch fuse connection units? This is very common for most manufacturers, and shout out to GLEC on Instagram, who posts great content there. He mentioned this on one of his posts the other day, that one of the only manufacturers we seem to know who don't do it like this, who do them in a logical side-by-side order, is MK. But this one, so you've got the load live there, incoming live there, load neutral there, and then incoming neutral there, and then the earth terminals. It's just a bit of a weird way to do it. I'm guessing that probably it's cheaper to manufacture them like this, or something like that, or easier to manufacture them like this. Let me know in the comments if you know. But I just thought I'd mention this. And for that reason, MK switch fuse connection units are probably the best out there in my opinion. Right, this is really annoying. So I've just got everything connected up. Light works, as you can see. Switch is working, but it's flickering. Cue David Savoury electrical video about this, link up here somewhere. I haven't really watched it in full because, to be honest, it sounded a bit boring, but I guess I'm going to need to watch it now because this is an issue and I don't really know how to fix it. What I'm going to try and do is disconnect the neon in here and just see if that makes any difference, but otherwise my day has just got a lot worse. Right, so I disconnected the neon in the switch, so now as you can see the switch is off but the neon's not glowing. However, it has solved the problem. I don't know how I guessed it was that. I just had a gut feeling that that might have been an issue. I think maybe what was happening was a small amount of current was flowing through to the light through the neon, and because it was an LED light, it was just causing it to flicker every time the driver was sort of charged up or something. So now it just works normally, no issues. So I'm really relieved, because I was worried that I was going to have to try and fit a capacitor or something like that to it. Obviously there's no neon, but that's not the end of the world. At least it's not flickering, it's working as it should do. So that is the light in there done. I've got my socket here now spurred off into this switch fuse connection unit. Switch fuse connection unit is labelled up, toilet light, 3 amp fuse in there. Then the conduit goes down and along and through the wall up to that switch that I've just shown you. So neat little job, fairly easy bit of conduit work. I quite like these saddles. They're different to the ones I usually use. I got these from GLEC in the town near where I'm working, because I'm working about an hour and a half away from home on this one. Don't usually do that, but it's a regular customer of mine who's got a factory down here, so I'm just doing a bit of work for him. Univolt conduit, very solid as well. It's quite thick. It's thicker than the usual stuff that I get from BEW. I don't know if it's like heavy gauge stuff, but it's really nice and solid. So quite happy with how it's all worked out. And just got one more little thing to do and then I'm off home. Finally guys, the February Tools for Sparks giveaway is live and running over on our Instagram page at tools4sparks, and there's some great tools, as you can see in this picture. All of these are going to be given away in that prize. So if you head over to our Instagram Tools for Sparks page, you'll see all the instructions on how to apply. You need to start by subscribing to our Tools for Sparks channel and following us on Instagram at Tools for Sparks, and tag some friends in the comments in our Instagram post and then you'll be in for a chance of winning. And you can see the prizes as follows. You've got this amazing Metabo drill set. You've got the Hager blue screwdriver set, which many people are always asking me how do they get hold of those. Well, you can get hold of them in this giveaway. An awesome Unilight SLR 1000 work light, and an amazing little Leatherman multi-tool. So lots of great things to win. Head over to our Instagram page at Tools for Sparks and get on that giveaway now. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.